was president of the Tibetan Alliance of Chicago last year, and I've been here like over in the Chicago area for over 17 years, and every year we protest 10th March, and then it's pretty much done. And I couldn't understand that, why we would protest 1 or 2 times a year and then sit around and do nothing. So I became a president last year, and I took this opportunity and organized a 1-year protest in front of the Chinese consulate. And with the help of a few organizations, I had a help from the Madison Tibetan Association. I'd like to thank them. Also Minnesota Tibetan Association, and then Tibet Center. And then we have a very generous person. His name is Phil Bogman. He did every Monday. Then we have people who does every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Thursday, every Friday, every Saturday. So we covered whole week individually, and we were able to do this for 1 year. And most of all, I have my parents, my mom and my dad. They did protest in front of the Chinese consulate for over 3.5 months, and that helped make this protest successful. And I really like to thank my mom and dad for helping me and supporting me for this longest protest in front of the Chinese consulate.
And so you'll continue to do this work throughout your life? Can you talk a little bit about that?
As a Tibetan, it's in my heart, deep down. I feel responsibility. If Tibetans don't do it, who would? We can get the help from the world, but people have their own lives, and we are talking about Tibetan cause, and Tibetan has a responsibility to do whatever it takes. And it is not possible for one person to do everything, but everybody should do their part to make Tibet free. And as a Tibetan, I feel responsibility, and I'll do my part whenever I get an opportunity. I may not be able to do everything, but I do my best. I'll do my best, whatever it takes, for free Tibet.
What do you feel like, with the issue of, not to disrespect His Holiness at all or anything, but the issue of autonomy versus independence, and how the differences are? Could you just explain a little bit about the differences?
When I respect His Holiness the Dalai Lama, he is God King of Tibet. Nobody can take His Holiness' place in my heart. But when you talk about the independence and autonomy, it's a politics, and there's a lot of things involved. I don't feel Chinese, and I cannot. I'm not a Buddha. I'm just a regular human being, and I know when somebody hits you, it hurts. And there's been 1.2 million Tibetans been killed by the Chinese, and there's tortures, killings, rapes, genociding. Everything is still going on in Tibet. If you can look and go back to the earthquake victims, there's no Chinese rescue people there helping Tibetan people. They just want Tibetans to die. It's very simple, and that's happening when Tibet is under China. So even with the autonomy, I don't think anything's gonna get better. So that's why I'm looking for full independence from the China. But I still have a great respect and admiration for His Holiness the Dalai Lama's effort. And on that sense, I would like the world's leaders and the people of this world to push the Chinese government to apologize to His Holiness the Dalai Lama. For last couple of years, they've been calling him names, accusing him splitters and all that kind of nature, which is unacceptable as a Tibetan. And on behalf of 6 million Tibetan people, I would request the leader of this world and the people of this world to push China to apologize to His Holiness, because this is unacceptable as a Tibetan. Because His Holiness is a leader, not just for Tibetan people. He's an inspiration and peace maker in the world, and we have people of this world have given him Nobel Peace Prize. America, United States of America, given him the Congressional Gold Medal, and he has received hundreds and hundreds of other peace prizes. And knowing all that, how can we put up and close our eyes and ears when the Chinese accuse him with the splitters and all these name callings? I cannot even say those things on the media, and Chinese are able to say this very openly, and that is very wrong. And I would like to request the world leaders to push China to apologize for that kind of nonsense.
Very good. And could you just explain a little bit about Tagsta Rinpoche's viewpoint versus His Holiness, and just compare to what you were saying? Because just say a little bit about, he was the, originated a lot of these, not really originated, but he was one of the first speakers to start saying these things through the walks and through the protests and the marches.
No, actually, there's His Holiness is the leader, and he has to make the decision. Looking at all the options, and His Holiness is a Charisi in a way, Tibetan. Charisi means a living Buddha, and Buddha has to care about everybody else, not just Tibetans. And that is why the middle path approach is maybe suitable and reasonable according to His Holiness' viewpoint. As a Tagsta Rinpoche's viewpoint, it is speaking speaking the truth. Tibet has never been part of China. It's for hundreds and hundreds of years, Tibet's been an independent country. And the proof of that is, I was caught by the Chinese going on top of the Chinese consulate. In a way, I have a very Tagsta Rinpoche's viewpoint is just the truth, what it is. Tibet has never been part of China. It's an independent country. And that's what we're looking for, because we have nothing to do with China. Inside Tibet, before the Chinese occupation, I don't know anybody spoke Chinese. And everything is written. We have our own currency, we have our own stamps, we have our own flag, which is the Tibetan flag. It represents a lot of things. And Tibetan national anthem recently won the most melodious anthem of the world. And that is the proof that we have our national anthem, we have currency, we have postage stamps. So Tibet has been an independent country, and Tagsta Rinpoche is speaking straightforward truth that Tibet is a free country, independent country, and China should leave. And on one point, I was caught by the Chinese consulate security in 2008. I went on top of the Chinese consulate. They have my pictures and videos, everything. I was inside the Chinese consulate facing the Chinese people, and I asked them if any of you feel that Tibet is part of China. I asked them to say one word in Tibetan language. None of them, there were 10 people in there, 8 to 10 people in there. None of them can speak one single word in Tibetan. And that proves that they don't know what they're talking about when they say Tibet is part of China. So they need to go back in the history, and they need to speak the truth. And that's why I'm walking.
That's good. Anything else you want to finish up with? And just say you're ready to go on this long journey. This is day one, and we're ready to move forward for 600 miles. Going to Chicago, to Madison, Minneapolis, and explain where we're going and who we're going to talk to.
And finally, I just want to thank the people of this world, people of United States, for supporting the Tibetan cause for all these years. And I also like to let Tibetan young people to get up, stand up for your own rights, and speak and do whatever it takes for a free Tibet. And we're gonna walk from Indianapolis to Chicago to Madison, Wisconsin, and then to Minneapolis, Minnesota, 600 plus miles. And on the way, you can check us out on the website, ambassadorforworldpeace.org. Google it, Walk for Tibet 2010.
That's good. Anything else? You good? That was great.
Well done.
Good, really,
JIGME LA, you good?
everything you did perfect.
Well.